this is Show, and thank you so much for checking out the video. So it's about that time, since our last 2-month gap from our previous gym video. Lots of interesting games being released in the past 2 months between April and May. Unfortunately, we don't have time to cover all of them, but I did want to highlight 5 games that I felt definitely deserve some attention because, yeah, so many things came out and nobody talked about them. So anyway, thanks for checking out the 4th episode of Gym, Games You Missed. Remember, we're covering titles that are strategy-based and RPG on the Switch. And I do apologize if my voice sounds a little bit funky. I am just getting over that which was not being named on YouTube, so do forgive me if my voice is a little bit strange. So with that said, let's take a look at 5 strategy games you missed from April and May 2022. All right, so coming in at number 1, we have something that caught my eye, and that is Twin Blades of the Three Kingdoms. Now, this is a classic-looking JRPG set in the style of the Three Kingdoms. I'm personally a huge fan of the Three Kingdoms sort of saga and era and stories. I love Dynasty Warriors, and I just wish, Dynasty Empires 9 was a little bit better, but aside from the point, this right here, though, is a classic JRPG, super retro looking, advertises itself as having a lot of 8-bit music, which is always fantastic. It offers an SRPG battle system with over 120 generals with unique skills and abilities, so definitely some good ways to keep the strategy going. Not to mention, I do like its art style with those portraits. It just kind of screams fanfare love. So, Twin Blades of the Three Kingdoms, check it out. And if you have already, let us know how it is. Next up in our number 2 slot, we have a very interesting game that caught my attention a few weeks back, and that is Traditional Braves. Now, I don't know if this is the sequel to Traditional Tactics NE+, but it is made by the same company, and it is a heavy turn-based affair that sort of combines a lot of roguelike points. Now, the main thing that at least caught my eye of Traditional Braves is that it's heavily advertising supposedly some excellent new AI system known as SESS AI, SESS AI, which apparently promises some of the strongest SRPG enemies ever with some of the best tactics involved. So, taking a look here, there's a lot of deep mechanics with many actions available to the player. Whether or not it's actually worth this kind of upper premium, we'll have to see. But if you've checked out Traditional Braves, do let me know in the comments. It seems like a really interesting game that is for the most hardcore of strategy lovers. In our 3rd position, we do have a Kemco game, but honestly speaking, Kemco isn't really all that bad, and that is Legend of Ixtona? I think Ixtona. And this is, this honestly screams to me, this is a turn-based isometric SRPG, a la Final Fantasy Tactics, or more or less Mercenary Saga at the minimum. Really nice art style, and the visuals give me a solid sort of PS2 era vibe. Kind of like the stuff that is being re-released through the Prinny Classics, like the guys that did the Sky and all that. So definitely get some solid PS2 era vibes. The game offers full character creation and customization, and of course you have the typical class progressions that you have with these sort of games. So honestly, it doesn't seem all that bad for the $15 US, price point. So definitely worth to take a look at. Once again, Legend of Ixtona. Next up in our 4th position, we have As Far as the Eye. Now, I'm a huge fan of city builders. I do enjoy me a good city builder, kind of leadership management game like Civ. This right here combines that city building with roguelike adventure. Now, the image I'm getting from this game is Homeworld, except fantasy adventure. So if you're familiar with Homeworld, then you know you have to build up your forces. You kind of jump from zone to zone, like a la Homeworld 2. And yeah, that seems like what this is going on as far as the eye. You need to analyze and create a route for your tribe, making it to, I guess, the promised land. There's a lot of Civ-like diplomacy systems for those who are interested, a lot of customization. Honestly, it seems like there's zero battling, which is an interesting take on it. So this is 100% your ability to lead a tribe of people and to guide them to where they gotta go. So as far as the eye, do check it out. Looks like a fantastic game on the Switch. That's gonna be one of those hidden gems. Finally, in the last position here, and I needed to talk about this game again, that is Deadcraft. Now, honestly, I spoke about this game before with my demo experience video. Absolutely love the demo, absolutely love the game. Why has no one really talked about this game? It's a top-down action game that's basically Zombie Harvest Moon. The action game itself has a surprisingly large amount of strategy and mechanics, including placing and setting of traps, calling in extra zombie support. The Harvest Moon strategy of it is quite robust. You have a nice skill tree system, and you have your little base that you can kind of work on and enhance and add new things to it. Now, honestly, I feel like this is just completely underrated, especially coming out of Marvelous 1, the same guys who did Daemon X Machina. As for the story, it's a bit insane, but it does give me some good Suda 51 feels with just enough cringe to make it worth sticking to the end. So, Deadcraft, if you haven't already, check it out. It's a fantastic game. There's a free demo. No excuses. And there you have it. 5 games that you missed that came out between April and May 2022. Now, this is just a small, grasp of them. So many other really good ones came out. I think you had like Rainbow Yggdrasil that came out. A bunch of good roguelike deck builders came out. I think like Rogue Book was a big one. So a lot of excellent games came out. We could have covered them all here, but if there's any strategy games that came out during this time that I missed that you want to bring up, by all means, let us know in the comments below. And if you tried any of these 5 out, people I do know like to talk about their experiences on these videos. So by all means, if you checked any of these games out, let us know your experiences in the comments. You may help someone else who's interested in a new game. With that said, this is Show, and thank you so much for checking out this video. As always, like, drop comments, and if you really want to support the channel and send your love, subscribing would really help. So, with that said, take care, and I'll see you next time. Cheers!